1, 2, is this on?
Actually, Tommy, real quick, I wanted to ask you. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking of comparisons between Vince McMahon and Lorne Michaels.
Okay.
Um, what do you think are there similarities between the two? And do you think that they each know their respective industries better than anyone on the planet?
Yes and no. I think the short answer is yes, because they are who they inevitably became. Like Vince McMahon and Lorne Michaels respectively are at the top. They're the godfathers of comedy and of the professional wrestling. However, I think that like at a certain point in everyone's career, they kind of like lose touch with what that is. And I think it's less in the case of Lorne Michaels and more in the case of Vince McMahon. I think you sort of lose touch of what connected you originally, and the ability to evolve slowly starts to stop. And like I think that Vince McMahon used to be very, I think in the Attitude Era, that was like right in his wheelhouse, and he did everything like just about perfectly in that era. But then I think that you look at the 2000s when he's still running things, and the dark ages of WWE when you're having terrible matches with like people like Miz in the WrestleMania main event. Like
Speak for yourself.
you're just I feel like Lorne Michaels and him are both. I mean, it's terrible for me to sit here and be like, they're old, get them out of there. But I do think that there's something to be said for like letting like the success that NXT has had, and why that has had so much success is probably because it's been run by Triple H, and he's better at
Are
knowing
they
what the audience
that
likes.
successful though?
I would say so. I would say that like if you can sell out arenas for a developmental league, that's like the Westchester Knicks or the Iowa Energy, D League basketball selling out arenas. You know what I mean? Like
Speak for yourself.
it's. I mean, I'm a season holder of the Westchester Knicks, but like I mean, you take a look at that. Like, what other lower level league for any other sports are selling out arenas? Like, I think it's incredible the amount that it's grown in the amount of time that it's been active.
Which brand has a tougher time going on once one of them leaves? Saturday Night Live or the World Wrestling Entertainment?
Saturday Night Live, because I just think Lorne Michaels has such pull with everything, and like as long as Lorne Michaels is running things, I feel like SNL is untouchable. I feel like it is just like it's an institution. People love it, people adore it. But I think if he leaves, and then they start to slump a little bit more, people will start to ask the question that they always inevitably ask every 2 or 3 years: is it necessary? Do we have to have SNL? It's been going on for forever. Like, how long do we have to have this going on? We just celebrated 40 years. But then on the flip side of it, I don't know how much Vince McMahon, I'm sure he's pretty involved in the day-to-day of things, but I think that Stephanie and Triple H have a good enough handle on the business to know where they need to go with it, despite Triple H being the current WWE champion.
I would argue that WWE is bigger in that I think the global aspect makes it much more of a bigger enterprise. But that being said, eliminating your passion for one or the other, which is the tougher gig? Managing SNL on a week-to-week basis or WWE?
I think WWE is the tougher gig, and I'll say that because the WWE audience is just unpleasable. I feel like no matter what you do, you're gonna piss off at least a good portion of the audience.
Isn't that wild?
And that's just the way that it is. Like they can't do anything without pissing off.
Okay, so then going back to Danny O'Brien, I think that's going to be his legacy of the audience truly thought they were 100% in control by getting that WrestleMania moment from him.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably accurate. Like, as much as, like the WWE kind of wants you to think like, hey, you're in control, WWE Universe.
Yeah,
We do what you say.
You're not in control.
Like, that's you're absolutely right. But I mean,
Like, how much do you think Vince hated having to do that?
Oh, he despised it. But you know what? Vince seems like the type of guy to me that he would hate it and he would curse up and down if he had to do it. And then once it made money, he would be like, "See, I told you we had to do it."
I know that's
the
the entire impression when they were showing. I don't know if you saw after Raw, but the whole roster was on the ramp during his speech, and Vince, his smile on his face was the biggest I've ever seen, and I could just read on his face that he thought like, "Yep, I'm glad that we did this with this guy," and it's just
yep.
Dude.
And in what other company or what other point in life can you just completely be against something for the longest time, and then when it works, be like, "Yep, I told you it would work."